Okay, test. You all hear me okay? Okay, what happened was, a few years ago I was in a bar. And it was just me, the bartender, and this pretty lady sitting at the back of the bar. So I told the bartender, I said, hey buddy, I said, I'd like to buy her a drink. He started laughing. He goes, save your money, mate. So what do you mean save my money? He goes, she's a lesbian. Well, I was from a small town. I didn't know what a lesbian was. So I said, that's okay, buy her a drink. It's your money, buddy. So I went up there and I bought her a drink. And I walked up to her. I said, hey, how you doing? I'm Dre. She said, hello, Dre. She's, I'm Shelly. I said, bartender told you you're a lesbian? She said, that's right. I said, well, what do lesbians do? Well, she went into this graphic detail about sexual graphic detail, what lesbians do. So I went back to the bar. I was shaking. I started crying. The bartender said, you all right, buddy? So I just found out I'm a lesbian myself. Do we have anybody celebrating any birthdays, any anniversaries? All right, congratulations. Is it your birthday? So we got her today?
Happy birthday.
And what's your name? Tina. Everybody say happy birthday, Tina. Thank you very much, Tina. Hey, congratulations. Yeah, I'll give you a little idea. A lot of stuff happening in the news today. I don't know if you've seen that or not. We finally got Colonel Gaddafi, or we didn't. But I was thinking, what an idiot this guy, Colonel Gaddafi, was. How the hell can you be in charge of your own army for 40 years and only make yourself a colonel? We had people in the United States that killed chickens for a living. They were colonels. Okay? I used to live in Hawaii, like he was saying. I lived in a very, very poor neighborhood in Hawaii. In fact, everybody lived in one-bedroom apartments. So whenever my parents used to want to have sex, they used to make me stand up and look outside the window. So my father came up to me one day and says, what do you see out there, son? So the couple next door is having sex, Dad. He goes, now how do you know that? I said, there are kids at the window looking at me. But living in Hawaii, it's really funny because people actually ask you, did you live in grass shacks? Do the women still wear grass skirts? I said, well, you know, many, many years ago, yes. The majority of the people in Hawaii, they did live in grass shacks, and the women did wear grass skirts. But today, just a very small percentage of people actually live in grass shacks. The majority of them just now smoke the grass and sell it to Californians. But also, what I like about Hawaii, too, a lot of people didn't know this, we had a little tribe of pygmies called the Umatini tribe. Have you ever heard of the Umatini tribe? Now, what the Umatini tribes were little pygmies that are about this big, and they would run through the grass naked. And the reason why they got their name is because as they ran through the grass, tall grass, naked, they'd go, Umatini, Umatini, Umatini. And that's how they got the news. Yeah, you know, speaking of which, I don't know if you saw this now, but I mean, it's hard to believe it's already been almost 4 years since President Obama was running for president, and now he's, you know, he's actually running for re-election. And I remember there was people up there that were so upset. They go, you know, dude, man, if Obama's elected president, I'm moving to Mexico. Now I looked at it and go, what, are you crazy? I said, you really think the Mexicans would want us over there? So think about it. They go, gringo, you built the wall, now you fucking climb it. Speaking of that, you know, I was telling somebody else the other day that part of the benefits of being president of the United States is that you get to travel all over the world. Meet heads of states, other presidents, queens, royalty, that kind of stuff. But every country has different customs. And like, the president can't, you know, be expected to remember what each custom is. So he has actual aides who inform him what the custom is of a certain country. For instance, if you go to England, you don't shake hands with the queen. If you're a man, you bow. If you're a woman, you curtsy. If you go to France, you have to kiss their president on the cheeks, preferably these cheeks. They're politicians, there's someone who used to get kissed on this cheek. If you go to Japan, you bow. You go to India, you give flowers. You go to Bali, you give lays. Can you imagine if you went to a country where the local custom was you had to kiss the guy's ass? You know, President Obama would go, Steve, what's the local custom here? He wants me to do what? Kiss his what? Your Royal Highness Barack Obama, I want you to meet my Vice President Joe Biden. Joe, come on over here and say hello to the chief over here. You might want to bring your toothbrush and some scope with you, buddy. We have any football fans here tonight? Any football fans? Who do you support?
Cowboys.
Cowboys, all right. Well, you know, I was just in the bar tonight, and there was these two ladies that were talking about how they think that women should be allowed to play in the NFL. And I don't have a problem with that, but did you ever stop to think what it would sound like if women played in the NFL? So it's like you're watching TV, and of course you have the announcer. He comes with his deep voice, and he goes, Redskins have the ball down the 5-yard line. In comes Sally Myers, the running back. She's got a big hole up the middle. Oh, and look at the penetration she's getting. And she's sacked again, this time by the entire 49ers front four. That's right, Bill, she came in as a tight end, she's now a wide receiver. But Yeah, I work. Anybody? I know we have a lot of flight attendants here. Let me see your and pilots. Let me see your hands. Give it up if you're a pilot and everything. Yeah, all right, man. The thing that gets me about flying is the announcements that people make on the planes and stuff. I would love to be a pilot, and I'll tell you why. I would scare the shit out of people on the plane. I would. I'd come on and go, ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, your captain speaking. We're currently cruising at 38,000 feet. Our speed is 550 knots. If you look out the right side of the window, ladies and gentlemen, you'll see a small life raft with some people in it. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your crew, and this is a recording. Here's what gets me, though, about flying, too, is how irritating is it... Thank you. How irritating is it when you get on a plane and you're really tired and the couple next door's got a brand new newborn baby? I mean, God bless them. You know, I can understand they want to take the baby to meet the grandparents and stuff like that. But I really don't think it's fair to the other people to have to sit there and listen to the baby cry and smell dirty diapers the whole trip. I say if the grandparents want to see the kid, let them fly to see the baby. That way, you don't have to listen to the crying. I mean, you'll still have to smell the dirty diapers. Now, speaking of that, I know we have a lot of flight attendants. You guys know what you call a pregnant flight attendant, right? Pilot error. I don't know. We had a big merger happening right now with Continental Airlines. I know some of you all heard this one, but you know, we're actually merging with United Airlines. But Aer Lingus. Does anybody know who Aer Lingus is? They're from Ireland. Continental is going to merge with Aer Lingus, but it would have sounded funny. It would have been called Conolingus. So I decided not to go there. Do you ever start to think if flying is so safe, why is the first word you see at the airport say terminal? And in an air disaster, what's the first thing they look for? Dental records? Think about this. If they don't know who you are, how the hell do they know who your dentist is? Yeah? And also in the news, man, I don't know if you saw this or not, but California passed a law that you have to teach gay history to kindergartners now. And I don't have a problem with it, but history is hard enough to remember without having to remember what sexual preference somebody has. Right? Can you imagine being a kid and you go, after discovering electricity, Ben Franklin packed up his kite and went home. On a footnote, he then got teabagged by his partner Thomas Jefferson. Thank you. That's another thing I was talking to people. I've got some of my friends, they're gay, and they're always telling me what a great lifestyle it is. And they say it's all about hugs and kisses. Well, I don't have a problem with the hugs. What comes after the hugs, it kind of scares me. You know, it's like, whoa, but that's okay. That one went over like a pork chop at a Jewish wedding. The other thing I was going to tell you is my wife is actually Colombian. She's from Florida, from Colombia. And she got mad at me because last week was my mother-in-law's birthday. And last year for my mother-in-law's birthday, I bought her a cemetery plot. So my wife says, well, what are you going to get my mother-in-law my mother this year? I said, nothing. She goes, why? I said, she didn't use what I got her last year. I always told my wife, one thing I do when I come home from a trip, I always go in the bedroom. First thing I do is I get some aspirin. I go, here you go, honey. She goes, what do you mean aspirin for? She goes, I don't have a headache. I said, good, now you don't have an excuse. The other thing I want to tell you guys about in the news was that, how many people remember what Michael Vick about the dog fighting and cruelty to animals? Well, I don't have a problem with that, but what I think is, I think he got a bad rap by the press. Because, I mean, I don't condone cruelty to animals, but he's not the only celebrity to do something cruel to animals. Do you guys remember a guy named Richard Gere? Remember what Richard Gere did? He took a gerbil and he put it up his butt. I swear. But, yeah. Now, Michael Vick might have done a lot of things, but he never shoved a pit bull up his ass. And if he did, respect, man. That's one bad move. We've got a really good show for you tonight, folks. We got some comedians. We got Dan, who's coming all the way from New York City. We got comedian Lloyd from MTV Yo Mama. We got Ray Gibbs, funny guy, one of my favorites. And we also have Mike, who's going to be doing some improv for you. But right now, I'm going to take a little break because I'd like to bring up this little gentleman. I've never seen him perform before, so I'm looking forward to his show. Please give up for Big Dan. Where are you, Dan? Come on up here, buddy. Dan. Do it one more time. Dan, right there. There they go. Where we are, doing great. I got to tell you a little story here. I actually went to college in Hawaii, at the University of Hawaii. And while I was working there, I worked at Sears in the gardening department. And my first day on the job, my boss came up to me and says, Dre, says, do you know anything about selling up? I said, selling up, what's that? He says, that means when somebody comes into the store to buy something, you end up selling them more than what they came into. He says, I'll tell you what, you watch me, I'll take the first guy, then I'll let you take the next customer. I said, okay. A few minutes later, this guy walks in, my boss says, hey, how you doing, sir? He says, can I get you anything today? He goes, yeah, I guess I'm looking for some grass seeds. He says, hey, we have our 100-pound bags on sale. I said, hey, great, I'll buy them. He says, by the way, sir, he goes, you need some fertilizer for that? He says, we have our 200-pound bags of fertilizer. Hey, I'll take that too. He says, of course, sir, once the grass starts to grow, we have to water it. We have our 200-foot long hoses. He says, hey, I'll take that too. He says, of course, the grass is going to be long, sir. He says, you have to mow it. We have our power mowers on sale. I said, shit, give me that too. So the guy spent a lot of money. So he looked at me and said, did you see how I did that, Dre? I said, yes, sir, I did. He says, you take the next customer. I said, okay. A few minutes later, this guy walks in. I said, can I help you, sir? He goes, yeah, I'm looking for some tampons for my wife. I said, can I interest you in a lawnmower? The guy says, what the hell do I need a lawnmower for? I said, well, I figure a weekend shot, you might as well cut the grass, dude. See, I grew up in the 70s, and dating was a lot different in the 70s. Back in the 70s when I grew up, if you kissed somebody on the first date, woo, that was really big. And girls, you love to call up your best girlfriend, especially Southern girls. They would call up their best girlfriend after a date in the 70s. It would sound like this. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Missy. Guess what? Went out last night and we kissed. Oh my gosh, was it like? Oh, he was wonderful. But today, a kiss is nothing. Today, they've gone way beyond kissing. The same two girls talking today would sound like this. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Missy. Guess what? Guess what? Went out last night and we did it. Oh my gosh, it was like, oh, she was wonderful. Woo! All the guys, woo! Now, our next comedian, ladies and gentlemen, is one of my favorites. He's a great guy. He comes from Harlem, and we've had him here several times, and since we've had him here, we haven't let him go, man. We love him. Everybody loves him. Please give it up for Ray Gibbs, man. Come on up here, Ray. Ladies and gentlemen, Ray Gibbs, man. Give it up one more time for Ray. Oh! Y'all having a good time tonight? All right. All right. Before I bring on our next comic, we got two more comics coming up tonight, so we definitely want you to stick around. Something I got to tell you, I went to the movies the other day, and I actually saw a rerun. You guys remember Forrest Gump? Yeah. Can you imagine Forrest Gump's first gay experience? Right? Remember how Forrest would talk? He'd go, well, I remember one day Lieutenant Dan, well, he took me to a bar. Well, it was like our old clubhouse, no girls were allowed. I said, Lieutenant Dan, why are you putting your pee-pee in my butt? I said, it hurt. I was just glad he wasn't Bubba. I never did tell Jenny about that. Lieutenant Dan's that be our little secret, that's all I got to say about that. That's a little Forrest Gump there for you. Oh, God, a lot of energy in that, huh? Well, ladies and gentlemen, our next comic will be up in just short, our headliner, comedian Lloyd. Before I gotta tell you something, I actually live in Florida now, home of the Hurricanes. I'm not talking about the football team. I'm talking about we actually get hurricanes down there. And, you know, people just don't evacuate because they don't take the hurricanes serious. You know, and I'll tell you why. I blame the Weather Bureau because they give them wimpy names like Hurricane Wilma. Who's scared of that? Hurricane Katrina? Nobody's going to run. But I guarantee you name a hurricane motherfucker, you're going to watch people run. God damn, Hurricane Godzilla, they're going to run. They're going to run. And ladies and gentlemen, our next comic comes all the way from Jersey. Please give it up for comedian Lloyd. He's from MTV Yo Mama. He's been with Queen Latifah. And come on up here. Give it up. Give him a nice round of applause. Woo. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, comedian Lloyd. Whoa. Well, before I leave you guys, I want to thank everybody, first of all, for coming along here tonight, man. You guys have been a great little crowd. Give yourselves a clap, by the way. A clap, yeah. And the other night, I was actually in the bar with Ray, and he says, "So Dre, man, he goes, how do you pick up these chicks?" And I said, "Well, I use a different line than most guys. Like most guys would go up to a girl and say, 'Hey, can I buy you a drink?' We've all heard that line before." He said, "What do you do?" I said, "I go up to a girl and say, 'Are you hungry? Can I buy you something to eat?' And the girls go, 'Oh my God, that is so sweet. He's actually concerned that I'm hungry. He's not trying to get me drunk so he can get down my pants. That's so sweet.' Be honest with you, it's got nothing to do about being sweet. It's just that an egg roll is the last place a woman thinks about looking for a roofie. So I mean, but, you guys have been great. I want to thank you. We're going to ask you to exit from this door. My man Mike's going to have a little cat in the hat thing. What we're trying to do is we just found out Lord's going to be a father. So if you guys want to give, and actually, the girl's attorney called him this morning and said the DNA is definitely his. So it's his kid. Congratulations, Lori. But if anybody wants to throw a little something in there, we appreciate it, and thank you so much. The bar is open. You can stay here. Well, we're going to be closing this room, but we do ask that you exit through this one, go to the bar, have a couple drinks, and thanks once again for coming, man. You guys have been great.